My name is Mike Tyson. I am a professional fighter. It takes guts to step inside of a ring, but it also takes a lot of courage to fight the fights that takes place in a day-to-day living. One of those fights has to do with drugs. Don't let them win a decision over you. Knock drugs out of your life by just saying no. More and more people are saying no every day. They are the real champs.
From the Drug Enforcement Administration FBI Sports Drug Awareness Program at this station.
The day of the fight, I had some pasta at 1 o'clock. At 4, I had a steak, then some more pasta at 5. In the dressing room, I had a Snickers bar and some orange juice. Then Kevin wrapped my hands and put on my gloves. It was time to walk to the ring. It was chilly in the arena, so Kevin cut a towel and draped it over my neck. I was wearing the black trunks that I had changed to a few fights ago. I had to pay a $5,000 fine since Burbick was wearing black. But I didn't care. I wanted that ominous look. Yeah, you got it. I was the challenger, so I had to go out first. They were playing a Toto song for my entrance, but all I could hear in my head was that Phil Collins, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. If y'all know about that Miami Vice, like I know about that Miami Vice, that motherfucker hit. Went through the ropes and I started pacing around the ring. I looked out at the crowd and I saw Kirk Douglas, Eddie Murphy, and Sly Stallone. A few minutes later, Burbick entered wearing a black robe with a black hood. He was projecting cockiness and confidence, but I could feel that was all a facade, an illusion. I knew that this guy was not going to die for his belt. Ali was introduced to the crowd and he came over to me. Kick his ass for me, Ali told me. 5 years earlier, Ali had been beaten by Burbick and retired after the fight, so I was more than happy to comply. That's going to be easy, I assured Muhammad. Finally, it was time to fight. The bell rang and referee Mills Lane motioned us into action. I charged Burbick and began peppering him with hard shots. I couldn't believe that he wasn't moving and he wasn't jabbing. He was standing right there in front of me. I threw a right hand near the beginning of the fight square on his left ear, trying to bust his eardrum. About halfway through the round, I staggered him with a hard right. I swarmed him, and by the end of the first, Burbick seemed dazed. He had taken some really, really good shots. I went back to my corner and sat down. 10 seconds into the second round, I hit him with a right, and Burbick went down. Sprang up immediately and came right back at me. He was trying to fight back, but his punches were ineffective. With about a half a minute or so left in the round, I hit him with a right to the body instead of an uppercut, and then I shot the uppercut, but I threw a left and hit him in the temple. It was a delayed reaction, but he went down. Didn't even feel the punch, but it was very effective. He tried to get up, but then he fell back down, and I noticed that his ankle was all bent. No way he's going to get up and beat the count, I thought. I was right. He tried to get up a second time and he lurched across the canvas and flopped down again. He finally got up, but Mills Lane hugged him and waved him off. That was it. I was the youngest heavyweight champion in history. M0nkey, whose son managed Burbick, came over to congratulate me. Then I looked out over the audience and started to feel arrogant. Yeah, we did it, I thought. Me and Cuss did it. Then I started talking to Cuss. We did it. We proved all those guys wrong. Time for the post-fight interviews. I had to acknowledge Cuss. I was the best fighter in the world at that time, and I was his creation. Cuss needed to be there. He would have loved to have told off those people who wrote him off as a cook. What's a cook? K-O-O-K. What the hell is that? Would have said, nobody can beat my boy here. He's only 20, but nobody in the world can beat him. This is the moment I waited for all my life since I started boxing. So now I understand why Phil Collins' song In the Air Tonight is very important to him and has deep meaning to him. You know, Muhammad Ali is his hero, and to have your hero come over to you and say, wear that nigga out, and you do it, that's got to be a fantastic feeling. By the time I won the belt, I was truly a wrecked soul because I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have Cuss. I had to win the belt for Cuss. We were going to do that or else we were going to die. There wasn't any way I was leaving that ring without that belt. All that sacrifice, suffering, dedication. I finally got back to my hotel room earlier that morning. I looked at myself in the mirror wearing that belt, and I realized that I had accomplished our mission. My name is Mike Tyson. I'm a professional fighter. Boxing is a lonely sport. The sparring, the training, and especially the road work. The things I think about most is how bad drugs are and how much they hurt people. Well, we can get rid of drugs if each of us, one by one, decides to say no. It's a small word with a big meaning. Say it. Say no to drugs. That was a public service announcement I did for the Drug Enforcement Administration to be broadcast right before my first title defense in 1987. Also did PSAs for New York State. They showed me hitting a heavy bag and then turning to the camera. That's right. Stay off crack so you can win. I did two things right away when I went back to New York after winning the title. I went up to Catskills and showed my belt off everywhere. I wore it outside for 3 weeks, sometimes even sleeping with it on, and I don't blame him. Second thing he did was go to the place where his mom was buried. Remember early on in the book, he was talking about how it was a pitiful funeral. Mama's boyfriend, Eddie, he had passed right before he fought Burbick. He buried Mr. Eddie next to his mama and gave them respectable headstones. Here lies Miss Lorna. I think that's her name, Lorna. Miss Lorna, Mike Tyson's mammy, and there go the boyfriend, Mr. Eddie. Also felt like a fake. Jimmy and Bill were intent on stripping away all the Brownsville from me and giving me a positive image. But Brownsville was who I was, my personality and my barometer. That was the important essence that Cuss wanted me to keep. It had me doing these anti-drug messages and posing for posters for the NYPD, but everyone knew I was a criminal. I had come from a detention home. Now all of a sudden I was a good guy? No, I was a fake fucking Uncle Tom nigga. I felt like a trained monkey. Jimmy and Caton wanted me to be another Joe Louis, not Ali or Sonny Liston. They wanted me to be the hero, but I wanted to be the villain. The villain is immortal. Besides, I knew that Joe Louis's hero image was manufactured. In real life, he likes to snort booger sugar and screw lots of women. Well, Shit, you ain't got to be Joe Louis to enjoy snorting the booger sugar and hunch on the ladies. I mean, hell, we'll get there eventually in the book. Tyson was on that bullshit. He was lunching. So one day he walking with his people, his good white people that take care of all his money. He walking in the mall. He say to one of his good white people, hey, buy me that watch. The good white man was like, no, I ain't fitting to buy you that watch. He was like, man, go ahead, I'll pay you back. He said, hell no, I ain't fitting to do it. Mike Tyson threw a fit. Use your card, get me that watch. I said, no effing way, Steve said. Why not? You know I'll pay you back. I protested. No way. Jim will effing kill me, he said. It was then that my demons would tell me, these white guys don't care about you like us. Right. What he also said he did was go back to the neighborhood and give money away. One of you in the comments had told me that Cuss had put that energy into him, that once he made it big, he should give back to his community. Okay? Hey, let me say something about giving away money. Okay? When you giving away money and when you taking care of other people, when the tides turn, them same people don't look out for you. I ain't talking about you motherfuckers that gave somebody a nickel in 1982 and then in 2024 y'all looking crazy because the same ninja that you done gave a nickel to, now you want 5,000. Okay? Remember that nickel I gave you in 1982? Yeah, I do. Here go the nickel. I don't want the nickel. I want 5,000. Well, I was living this crazy dual life. One day visiting friends in their prison cells. The next day hanging out with Rick James. I had met him a few times before, but the first time we really spoke to each other was at an after party for some new movie. We were at a big club. Maybe 1,000 people were there, but you're going to notice Rick James. He called me over. Hey, Mike, get in this picture with me. He was posing with Eddie Murphy and Sylvester Stallone. Right around then, he had made a lot of money from Hammer sampling him on You Can't Touch This. So Rick was back in business. Next time I saw him, I was in the lobby at a hotel on Sunset Boulevard. I was sitting outside with Ricky Schroeder and Alfonso Ribeiro from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Well, pause. Okay, but Mickety Mikety, don't forget that Alfonso Ribeiro was also on Silver Spoons with Ricky Schroeder, okay? And then why you with Ricky Schroeder anyway? Ricky was probably 17 then, and Alfonso was maybe 16. But we're sitting there drinking. What was you drinking? And I looked up, and I saw a convertible Corniche Rolls Royce pull up, and Rick got out.